Yeah.
Oh man, it's another Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And we are ready to talk about hip hop like nobody else, man.
You already know.
So it's time for the number one hip hop podcast in the world.
You damn right.
And we just so happen to call it Banging on Lunch Tables. And now I'm Camp from the Port.
It's your boy Mike Jones.
And we are still available at your usual suspect places like Apple Podcast, Google Play,
yes sir,
Spotify, but you can now also catch us on the iHeartMedia app.
You damn right.
You can also catch us on Stitcher. And we cannot forget, you can now officially catch our full episodes on YouTube, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? As we continue to grow this thing here, we want to be everywhere that you are and some places that you've never heard, man.
That's right.
So, you know, you're going to run out of excuses, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, Banging on Lunch Tables, I don't never see it. Nah, bitch. You see that, motherfucker. Because we everywhere. It don't matter if you have a Droid. It don't matter if you have an iPhone. It don't matter if you still on a desktop, a Hewlett-Packard joint. Like, no matter what. If you got,
it don't matter.
You know what I'm saying? You got the Dell box package, whatever joint. If they still make those, it don't matter. The point is, we are there. You know what I'm saying? If you are streaming something, we are there. The only place I think that I can say that we haven't made it to yet is Tidal.
Right, yep.
And that's going to change soon, too. You know what
Coming
I'm saying?
soon.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever get it messed up. That's going to change soon also. Oh, man. But, Jones, it was a fiery, an opinionated past week in hip-hop, man.
Yeah.
And it's time to talk about it.
Man, come on, dog.
So, man, let's just get right to the madness and the foolery, if you will. Banging on Lunch Tables.
You damn right.
Let's talk New York bias again, Jones.
Come on, man. Come on.
Because this is one of your favorite subjects when you when you break out your cape fresh from the cleaners and you use it for your favorite artists out there. and I got something for a few of them specifically. But I'll tell you why I want to talk New York bias first, though.
Okay.
I checked out the T.I interview with Hot 97 with Ebro and Rosenberg. Did you check that out, Jones?
I caught a piece of it, but I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing.
Okay, so I watched the whole thing, and I can't front, Jones. T.I said something so poignant yet profound, it really did have me believing that New York bias is still a real thing in this present day.
Okay.
However, I don't mind an artist like T.I saying it.
Okay.
I don't mind a person with the resume that he has saying it. My issue is all the other potential motherfuckers, and we'll get to them. All right.
Okay.
So Jones, I want to ask you a couple questions, but the first one I want to ask that I know the answer to, but I really want you to get your shit off today, man. This week, 2020 July, I want you to really do your thing when you explain this. When I ask you, how real is New York bias from your perspective?
Oh, man, it's hella real, man, when you really think about it. And I don't want to say as a whole, like the people of New York overall are biased. I think that is kind of falling by the wayside. New York bias is mostly held by the hip-hop media, per se, that is primarily out of New York. Like, all of the stuff that we consider, like, the tastemakers and gatekeepers and all that other shit, a lot of that still kind of resides in New York. So you still get tinges of that New York bias when it comes to new shit. And they just have to overall give it up when people start doing well. And we've seen it repeatedly, even in the 2010s, like Future, right? Like, just take Future, for example. Future was not the traditional hip hop sound when he came out. When we heard him on racks and shit, not the traditional sound. And for the longest, he was heating up Atlanta. And this is even on my end. I wasn't the biggest Future fan, but after a while, you just couldn't deny it. And now he's a staple of the culture. And even New York had to be like, you know what, Will, yeah, he dope. And we're seeing the same thing with Lil Baby and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's when you're not coming with that traditional, I don't want to say boom bap, because even that's a little dated to a certain extent. Well, you're not coming with the traditional New York rhyme pattern or rhyme scheme. You automatically get looked at like, nah, man, what the fuck you talking about? Man, you know, man, this ain't that real shit. This ain't, and even though I love these guys, I'm just going to use them as an example. Oh, man, this ain't that Griselda shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's almost like if you don't fit into that mold or anything like that, it's kind of like, man, you know, we'll see type shit.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And even as New York has evolved with their artists, like from the Don Q's and A Boogie with the hoodies, the Pop Smokes and Fibio Foreigns and stuff like that, even as it evolves, there's still a tinge of, well, it ain't from New York, it don't really, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, if we ain't feeling it up here, it don't really matter yet.
Right.
Type shit.
Okay. All right. So I'll say this. T.I let me know that New York bias is real. Like East Coast bias, New York bias is real, right?
Yes, sir.
And I will say that he raised a great point. And even going to your point, Jones, I don't know if you've seen that part of his interview, but you and T.I feel very similar in this fact. He was like, you know, the East Coast or New York bias exists because every label is here, like Atlantic, Universal, Def Jam, and Interscope, like all those were here. He was like, but then Vibe is here, Double XL is here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he said the source. He's like, everything that covered music is in New York. And it's all the bigger platforms too, because like, and it made me think, you know what is the vibe of California?
Yeah.
What is the source of Texas? You know what I'm saying? What is the what label is equivalent to Interscope in Georgia? Now, granted, a lot of the music industry lives in Georgia, but we know that's cost of living and networking and connection. Like between Georgia and California, a lot of people live there. But the bottom line is, to get your deal, to get your connections, you know what I'm saying, to get the deposit, check the deposit, you got to go to New York. Like that's what has to happen. So we're all aware.
That meeting is probably going to take place in New York.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, I was like, wow, you know what? It really made me think. And he also said something about particularly his catalog, and we're definitely going to talk about it later in the show. But it also made me think of this also, Jones. I thank T.I for this. Thank Clifford T.I Harris for this, Jones.
Okay.
Because I'm 75% on board with this phrase I used to kill you for. Called regional classics. Now, at first I was like, man, it's classic or it ain't. It impacted culture or it didn't.
Right.
Fuck all these asterisks to make it seem like it's a bunch of fucking classics that exist. Right. However, you know, an artist like T.I came up and prospered in a time where there was no internet.
Right. Yeah.
Where, you know what I'm saying, where you did really have to get in your car and travel and hear some other shit from somewhere else and see the people react to it. I've told the story a few times on this show about how, I was in Chicago working at North Riverside Mall and I hated Jeezy, but then in 2005, but by the time I moved to Atlanta in July of 2005, I totally get it. And I undoubtedly called Thug Motivation 101 a classic before, just because of the week it dropped and what I witnessed in the city that he was living in at the time.
Right, yeah.
So So I'm on board with what he said. I'm more than partially on board with the idea of regional classics still existing, but I do want to throw more criteria out with it. So,
Oh, okay.
but and we'll get to that when we get into our later bullet point of conversation. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So, what constitutes the bias? I think it was covered pretty well uh, when
Mm-hmm.
uh, when T.I was like, well, media for one for one aspect, because if you think about it, even though NWA is probably more world renowned and recognized than Public Enemy, I think it's just because they couldn't be denied by anybody.
Right.
But
Yep.
but um, perhaps the spotlight on Too Short more than MC Hammer has the Bay viewed a certain way for a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
True.
saying? Or maybe if Common and Twister get a little more love from being Chicagoans, you know what I'm saying, versus that really starting with Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
Even perhaps that everybody has the richness of history as far as hip hop, even if we're not the origin, even if we're not the mecca. Like, hip hop happens
Right.
everywhere, and it's been happening everywhere for over 30 years. But since New York is the mecca with all the media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that is why that bias can be felt by everybody. But Jones, I want you to tell me, because I'm always in the solutions business.
Mm-hmm.
How do we fix the bias?
Oh man, I think that's never going to go away.
Wow.
To be
Okay.
to be honest with you, or it's just going to be like a generational thing. Like, I know this is going to be an extreme example, but y'all just rock with me.
Okay.
It's kind of just like breeding out hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you get used to seeing something and indulging in it, you can't say, "Oh, that's whack" or "that's nasty" or whatever the case may be,
Right.
because you're used to seeing the differences. Now, one of the things I notice is that people enjoy the differences in hip hop, but a lot of times it takes a New York person to introduce it to New York for New York to be like, "Oh, this is okay." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
take Dipset and their adventures around the country in the mid 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're working with different artists from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They essentially made it okay for New York artists or people from New York to at least dabble in these other hip hop cultures from the West Coast, down south, all of that. Even Rocky, ASAP Rocky, him being in tune with like Screw and the Memphis sound and all that, that
Mm-hmm.
makes it okay because, well, it's not just a weird Texas thing. It's a hipster. Oh man, well, ASAP Rocky, he get busy with it, man. Like, it's cool. Like, we can rock with it. You always need somebody to introduce it to you if you don't even get a chance to live it yourself. So I think that's the thing. So
Okay.
I don't think it's going to go away immediately, but we just got to normalize all of this shit, like hyphy or mob music out in the Bay. Like, we got to be like, all right, well, I don't know no Mac Dre records, but if they say he got classics and he a legend out there, that is what it is. If you go to Kansas City, Missouri, and they tell you that Tech Nine is the man out there and he got classic joints, don't turn your nose up at it. Indulge in it a little bit. It may or may not be your thing, but at least accept the fact that, like, all right, man, well, I rock with it. It's cool. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And then keep it moving. Don't just turn your nose up at it and say because it's not Apollo Brown and Sky Zoo or what have you that is automatically whack and we can't rock with it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So here's my thought, Jones. I think the best way to eliminate the bias is to have exactly what Ti said,
Mm-hmm.
and that is more outlets that exist outside of New York.
True. True.
Now, now, we live in a time, especially during this pandemic and quarantine and all of that, where
Mm-hmm.
now it ain't even really safe to travel like that.
Yep.
Because another big thing that might also contribute to the bias is that a lot of people with media or music aspirations move to New York,
True. Yep.
and you don't become a Tennessean in New York. You
Yeah.
become a New Yorker by way of Tennessee.
Yep.
So if all we're going to do is move to New York and then build platforms to be big in New York, obviously you're going to start catering to the new and the standard that exists there.
Yeah.
You know, there needs to be a platform super big for hip hop in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
It needs to be one in Phoenix, Arizona. It needs to be one in Oakland, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida. Like we should have, and it shouldn't be like. And I'm not just talking about bloggers, because obviously bloggers, tastemakers, influencers, all those things make sense. But like I was saying, there should be a source. The source should exist in Memphis, Tennessee,
Yeah.
because Memphis, Tennessee is not going to be as concerned with a Boogie and Don Q as they would be Don Tripp and Starlito,
Right.
as they would
Exactly.
be Dolph and Key Glock. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, instead of them trying to get that Jay-Z interview, they're going to try to interview DJ Paul.
Right. Yeah.
So I think having the courage to build where you are and recognize the greatness that surrounds you, because there's a legend, there's a hip hop legend with a classic in every city that is involved in hip hop, like on a mainstream scale. Like,
That's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? That there's not one of those, like, if you're in Miami, Florida, like, your quote Jay-Z is Uncle Luke.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you're in Houston, Texas, your Jay-Z's are Bun B. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, and the UGK legacy. So I think encouraging that and standing behind that is the best way, because realistically everybody has the we don't support our own mindset, mentality, or story to tell. Even New York. I mean, shit, we hear it all the time. The older New York rappers would be like, man, but y'all want to hear that old bounce shit. Y'all don't want to hear the real shit. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
everybody has their gripe. Like, New York rappers have their gripe, and we're saying that it's New York biased.
Yeah. True.
So
Everybody got a complaint.
right, you know what I'm saying? So since everybody has a complaint and everybody is trying to establish themselves as great, why not continue to build where you are and highlight where you're from? Now, I mean, because we live in an age now where the money is going to come, the exposure is going to come,
Right.
and the cost of living will be cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage that as a way to conquering the bias, because I mean there's a bias everywhere if we're being super real. It's just
Oh
that,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just that some people just can't be denied.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can't be denied by the majority. Now, of course, like I'll say, like, just like people are calling J. Cole boring and overrated now, niggas did the same shit when Nas was out and he dropped I Am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing. Oh man, this nigga doing the same shit. Oh, he's still manic, so he did the same album twice, huh? It's like literally the same shit. But now we live in an era where everybody that swear that their first album was so great or was such a classic, they doing the part two of shit that niggas ain't even heard of their shit before. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it
Right.
is what
Yeah.
it is. But
Now, I'll say this: the only difference with like every city having their own bias, like they don't hold the power to determine if some shit is going to be dope nationwide. New York still holds the power to be like, if you pop off there, like if you're from Memphis and you get a hit in New York, it means something everywhere else. Versus if you got a hit in Memphis and like they just, oh yeah, well it's a little regional joint. Yeah, you're doing all right, man. Keep that up, fella. You know what I'm saying? You get a pat on the head and like, oh, good job. You know what I'm saying? Whereas an artist can be from New York, get a majority of their spins or love in the tri-state area, and that is supposed to be like, yo, they major. You gotta fuck with them. How you not listening to them type of situation? And that's the difference I see in the biases.
Okay. So now a quick question to you. Do you believe that we could change that just with the landscape of how we receive information now?
You know what? Maybe it's a possibility. It's a possibility
Okay.
because luckily we're in a day and age where everybody has access to everything.
Hmm.
But New York, there's a certain cachet that has just come with New York, and that's, I guess, just American history. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to change regardless if it's rap, hip hop, stage plays, whatever. New
Hmm.
York is the place where you need to be. It's the center. It's the largest market in the United States. So from there, I don't think you can change it on that level
Okay.
because, like you mentioned, like we need media outlets in other places, and we have had those things. In particular, in hip hop, we've
Hmm.
had like Murder Dog magazine where it was like really Bay and South heavy, or like underground heavy, I could say.
Right.
Which I miss Murder Dog. We had Ozone magazine for a minute. That was like really
Hmm.
like covering Southern culture. Like they made Pimp C a columnist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Where
right.
he had his own column.
Right.
Even Charlemagne had his own column, and Lil Duval, before they really popped off big. So,
Right.
but they never attained the status of the source. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the
Right.
source had like a 15, 20-year head start, or even a double XL. You know what I'm saying? Like double XL was able to gain that cachet because it's New York, and
Hmm.
we kicked that real shit.
Right.
And those other magazines did, and they had great journalism in it. It's not from New York though. You know.
And Jones, I'm glad you said that. It is now time to officially heat up this entire conversation,
Come on with it.
banging on lunch tables.
You damn right.
Let's talk about Too Much South Sympathy and
Oh, here we
and a
go.
bunch of crybaby shit, right? You know,
Yeah.
you know what the difference is, Jones,
Hmm.
and what you just said about the other platforms not lasting as long, and New York having a 15-year head start with the source.
Hmm.
The store started covering their giants and treating them like giants.
Okay.
Because I want to point this out too. T.I also said something that I thought was pretty profound, and it really made me think about it. He was like,
Hmm.
if you move 50 Cent to St. Louis, he'd be Nelly.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, he did. I did catch that.
And you know what? That's not wrong. That's not wrong at all, Jones, because if you Nelly did for the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri what
Right.
50 Cent specifically did for Jamaica, Queens, and New York City.
Yeah.
So the stats match, the facts and the figures match.
Hmm.
Hell, I would even go as far as to say, like, like, granted, 50 has a lot of club records, but his main thing is in the club, right?
Right. Yeah.
I would be willing to argue that Nelly has four in the clubs.
Yeah.
Spec-
I'll say that. Yeah.
Specifically, like four in the clubs. Like he ain't got a little bit. He ain't got a candy shop. He got four in the clubs. And for everybody that may be unaware of what I'm saying when I say that, Hot in Here, EI,
Hmm.
Flap Your Wings, aka Drop Down and Get Your Eagle On, girl. And
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you could either go, in my view, based on how life played out, Grills or Country Grammar.
Hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like Nelly got a 21 questions.
Yeah.
It's called Dilemma. You,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So like, so no, but when and what was so profound about it, Ti was saying that to express the bias that exists because yeah, where do we place Nelly and 50 Cent when we talk about hip hop?
Right. Yeah.
That for a lot of people, and I would say even Jones, even yourself, you don't consider them in the same class.
No, I don't. That's
See,
a fact. That's
and
a fact.
and the thing is it because he's from St. Louis, or because like if he's from Harlem, if Nelly's from Harlem and 50 Cent is still from Queens, do we have a different conversation?
You know what? I think we would and we wouldn't.
Okay.
I say we have a different conversation because you essentially become a proto A Boogie with the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
like even though like Nelly still had like hard lyrics, but he wasn't known for making the gangster shit. But he would be the New York party guy, I guess you could say. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Right.
Akin to Mace. You know what? Akin to Mace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even though Mace had his moments, but like it'd be akin to Mace, and
Yeah.
then that would be cool. But I think the twang of the Midwestern Southern accent keeps Nelly out of that discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like we said with Lil Baby about a week or two ago. Like the fact that Lil Baby has that thick accent, that thick drawl, keeps certain segments of the population from paying attention to what he's actually saying just because there's an accent stuck up on it. You
Yeah.
put that New York son up on that Nelly, it sounds a little different, man. The conversation goes a different way.
Well, you know what, Jones? I would be inclined to agree with you at one point, but then I go back to why I specifically said Harlem, and one is because of Mace, and then
Mm-hmm.
two is because of Diddy. And Diddy and Nelly have some very big hip hop moments together,
That's a
and
fact.
it just made me think. It was like, nah, you know what? Cornell and Curtis would be in the same class if they were both from a borough in New York.
Okay.
Because the thing is, especially the way 50 talks about numbers, there's
Mm-hmm.
no way he can say that Nelly's not in his class.
Right. Yeah.
Hell, the better versus matchup is probably Nelly versus 50 Cent.
Ooh.
It probably is. When you think about what they've done as far
Yeah.
as like they're gonna have like 8 records that are
Mm-hmm.
going to be like, oh wow, this could go either way. Now granted, Nelly ain't got no super gangster shit. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
got no super lyrical shit. But the 10 joints, the 20 joints that he would play is going to give 50 an honest run for his money.
Yeah.
And even though it would probably be against his own personal want, he would have to pull those game records out that he gave up
Mm-hmm.
to really compete.
Yeah.
Like in the same spectrum. In the same spectrum. Now I like 50 Cent way more than I like Nelly. I loved 50 Cent and I hated Nelly during real time occurrences, right?
Right. Right.
But if we're talking about who's who, what's what, and how the industry breaks people down and sections them together, no, Nelly is in the class with a bunch of people that we don't even throw him in because we don't like his style of rap. And
Right. Yeah.
honestly, it could literally be all because he's from St. Louis.
Yep. Exactly.
Because nobody's running to put 50 and Jay-Z together either. Like, we haven't heard that mock battle come up either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah.
and 50 can win some rounds against Jay. I know people don't want to hear that, but 50 can win some rounds against Jay. But like, even the New York Giants aspect of it, nobody's trying to put those two together.
Right. Yeah. I
You
feel
know?
you on that.
So, but enough of that sidebar. Let's get back. Like I said, too much crybaby shit in the South, Jones.
Okay.
I want to say this. The Source, when they were hot and popping, what did they
Right.
do? They highlighted LL Cool J. They highlighted Biggie. They highlighted Jay-Z, Nas, AZ, Public Enemy. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, the people that were making the hits,
Mm-hmm.
they went ahead, wrapped their arms around those people and elevated them.
Okay.
Now, I don't feel the same thing got done for Scarface, Ludacris,
Right. Yep.
T.I,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Luke,
Right.
Jeezy,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Ross,
Yeah.
David Banner's Run,
Yeah.
I end up 3-6 Mafia,
Right. Yeah.
8 Ball of MJG,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole collective Houston early 2000s movement as a whole.
Right. Yeah.
So with that being said, if you see the Source or Vibe or Double XL, the New York brand, not covering your shit, then you should be covering your shit.
Okay.
Stop trying to find the next nigga and use the niggas that's the niggas. Like, yo.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because the bottom line is, it was a Source cover that had T.I on it with the crown that says, is he the Jay-Z of the South? Not Ozone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no South publication talking that shit. It was a New York publication talking that shit.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, Jones.
Okay. Yeah. But I say this: those were symbolic gestures. It wasn't real. Like, it's like, yeah, we fuck with y'all because y'all make hits, but we kicking that real shit. To give you a prime example, even though this is much later in the Source's run, right? In 2005, they give Lil Kim's "The Naked Truth" 5 mic status.
Right. Okay. Right.
That and happy belated birthday to Kim. But
yeah.
This is about to sound like some shade.
Shout out to my nasty cancer, my first nasty fantasy. Hi, Kim.
Yes, sir. But on the real, nobody that I know personally, outside of the Source, has ever considered that album a classic.
Okay.
Now, 2 years before that, T.I. drops. Oh, and a year before that, T.I. drops Trap Music and Urban Legend.
Right.
Arguably hip hop classics. Pick one. Pick one to say is a classic. But let's just go with Trap Music. Trap Music is a classic. No. The Source misses the boat on that.
Okay.
XXL misses the boat on that. But The Naked Truth gets 5 mics, fam? Like, come on. Okay. That's where I'm... Like, I get what you're saying about, like, do it yourself. If they ain't fucking with you, do it yourself. I get that. But at the same time, the brand is the brand is the brand. And, like, just like how we say the Grammys and all that other shit, you still want the recognition for whatever is the most popular thing, because that is what we've all been taught as hip-hop heads of a certain generation.
Right.
The Source is the shit to aim for. And, yeah, they give you the cover, but is they really fucking with your music, though? They giving you 4 mics, but they giving this shit that nobody can name a couple songs off of. You know what I'm saying? 5 mics. And that's the type of shit I feel like they're really dealing with. And as a big fan of Southern hip-hop, that's the shit that you kind of, like, dealing with. Like, hey, man, T.I. is killing shit. He got, like, a whole genre is named after that first album. But The Naked Truth gets 5 mics. And I know I'm harping on that one album, but that's just a prime example of all of that.
Well, Jones, my answer to that is definitely going to be this simple, Jones. This is where those Southern platforms give it 5.
Okay.
Like, fuck it. Listen, y'all think that they I mean, well, it's not even a thought anymore. People were paying for mics, right? We get that.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's say Kim paid for 2 mics for The Naked Truth. Let's just say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, Benzino gave himself 4.5. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we get it, right?
Right.
But it's on the Southern platforms or the platforms based in the South to say, hey, Ludacris word of mouth is 5 mics.
True.
Scarface, The Fix is 5 mics.
Right. Yeah.
8-Ball and MJG, Living Legends is 4.5 mics.
Right.
Fucking Trap Music, Urban Legend, 4.5, 5, like whatever it is. It's on them to say that, because that's the discussion. That's the argument. It's like, yo, I don't know what these niggas up talk is talking about. This motherfucker's a classic.
Yeah, that's true.
And because you know what? Because even XXL, The Vibe, and The Source disagree, Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one review is a 4. 2 might be 3.5. 1 might be 5, and the other 2 might be 4.5. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta round it out. You gotta get the summation of the scores. So I don't really want to hear about bias. It's like, yo, you feel that shit ain't The Naked Truth by Lil Kim ain't 5 mics? Well, give that bitch a 3 when you do the review. And then you follow it up by saying David Banner's Mississippi is a 4.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do. That is what you do. Like, I mean, we do this show because I don't think everybody's rap opinion matters, Jones.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I know people are super fucking wrong with the shit that they say in regards to hip hop and rap music.
Yeah.
But I don't just keep saying, "Oh, y'all biased." No, I crack this microphone and give my fucking opinion.
True that.
And I prove why my shit is right and why their shit is wrong. And that's what I do. And it's like, yeah, I'm here for the backlash. I'm here for the conversation. I'm here for the debate. The octagon is always open, but it's never going to be open if all you're going to do is stand outside of the gym and say, "You wrong."
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'll say this: the only thing that differentiates that then and now is we have the ability to at least do that. This is generations, at least with the Southern hip hop and East Coast bias, or whatever. These are like 20-year, 25-year biases of, nah, we ain't covering that shit. Oh man, y'all ain't really doing no real hip hop down there. And that's from the mid '80s until the mid 2000s, even 2010s to a certain extent. And it's still like, even when you do that, it still don't carry no weight. Like if we go to New York and say Project Pat got more classic albums than say Jim Jones or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know just using like B-Dot from Rap Radar, I know you don't really fuck with them, but he says what's that? On My Way to Church from Jim Jones is a classic.
Yeah,
I've never heard that anywhere except from a New York motherfucker.
Right.
But if I take laying the smack down and say, "Hey man, that shit is a fucking classic. I don't know what you talking about. It's 6 straight bangers out the gate. Probably 14 out of 16 is all hard." You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. People gonna look at you crazy, and it's not gonna carry as much because we New York, we started this shit. And even if you do start your own publication and do that shit, you're forgetting the crucial part. The meetings still take place in New York. So Vibe, like somebody that works at the Atlantic is looking at Vibe and saying, "Oh, well, yeah, you know, they down there making their little noise, but we're going to go sign Saigon." You know what I'm saying? Saigon is the one to go sign versus whoever else is in Baton Rouge, Atlanta, Memphis, or even the Bay Area to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is what you're still dealing with. It's not just the media. It's the media and the distribution side of it that you have to contend with.
Okay, Jones. I love and hate your answer at the same time, but it does highlight what this segment is all about. That Southern crybaby shit. Now let's get right into it. Like, I get it. Everybody got to get their deal from New York, right? I get it. But fuck all that other shit you talking about. This is exactly why Big Crit feels the way he feels, and he's fucking wrong. He's fucking wrong. Like, just like if you take 50 and put him in St. Louis, he'd be Nelly. If you move Big Crit to New York City, he's Eric Sermon. And the bottom line is the nigga's just not the nicest. He's just not the nicest. Like, like, it ain't got nothing to do with bias. It's like, dog, your music is good. Like, you can still be a legend. You can still contribute impactfully. But, yeah, you might be one of the best rappers in Mississippi, but you're not top 20 in the South. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, we can name 10 niggas that are just lyrically better than Big Crit. So it's like, it's not even about, like, it ain't no Southern bias. It ain't no Southern disrespect. It ain't no New York bias. Nigga, you're just not that nice. The problem is that it might be too many New York niggas is giving you too much credit. I mean, because, hey, he was on Double XL. He was on Def Jam. They keep saying that his sound is outcastish and shit like that. Like, yo, they alley-ooping you. Nigga, you getting hung on the rim. Like, because at the end of the day, Jones, he's not a better rapper than J. Cole. He's not a better rapper than Sci-Hi. He's not a better rapper than Trippin' Starlito. He's not a better rapper than Fonte. You know what I'm saying? He's not better than Nick Grant. He's not better than Jaron Benton. He the two niggas that you fuck with. The Earth Gang. He's not better rappers than them Earth Gang niggas. Like he's not better than them.
I don't know about all that, but I'm rolling. I'm listening to you.
At rapping, Jones, rapping.
Yeah.
Now, now, if you want to talk maybe singles and putting out like projects, he might beat some of them. He might be in the middle of the pack right there. But he talking about not being respected as a lyricist and it's because he from the South. No, nigga, it's because you're maybe number 17. and the list of niggas just in your below the equator with you. Like this ain't got nothing to do with New York bias. Nigga, you don't rap better than Sci-Hi the Prince and nobody is here to argue with you. Like that's it. Now granted, Tripp and Starlito may never get the love that Mobb Deep get, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, but there's a shot at them being on par with Capone and Noriega. But somebody gotta fucking cover it. And be yo, Step Brothers 3 is the hardest shit. That's one of the best duo albums I've ever heard in my fucking life. It is 5 mics, or it's whatever the stars are, you know what I'm saying? A triple extra large, whatever your rating system, whatever you want it to be, make it that. Yeah. And at the same time, review your music and also review the other music that you don't think is that great. So true that. So literally, when A Boogie dropped, and let's say when Kevin Gates dropped, if you feel they both 3 mics, give them 3. But if you feel Kevin Gates is 4 and A Boogie's 2.5, then say that shit. And because the thing is, fuck who in New York don't agree, nigga. Like, cause that's what they saying about y'all. Man, fuck these Arkansas niggas that don't believe that. No, Jim Jones is a classic. I don't give a fuck who got to say what in Tennessee. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, stop trying to give a fuck about people that don't give a fuck about your opinion. Or
you know what? You know what, man? Just to interject, I do agree with you on that point because I do look at other areas of the country, and I love Big Crit. Big Crit is one of my favorite rappers and has produced some of the best hip hop of the past 10 years, right?
Yikes.
The 2010s. Yeah.
Yikes.
But I look at areas with their own sound who are not concerned with New York. Like for example, the other day I seen somebody say, man, like Jay-Z cool and all, but like he don't get no love in Texas like that. Mm-hmm. Which, like, I doubt, but at the same time, I can understand because they got their own shit and they're only worried about their own shit. They don't give a fuck about that New York love because they knew they wasn't getting it years ago. And since we ain't getting it, let's focus on our shit. The Bay, the same way. The Bay and Texas are their own ecosystems when it comes to music. Yeah. Like just using Jay because he's like the biggest rapper. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, Jay get love. But like, we gonna play this Mac Dre though. Like, exactly. yeah.
Thank you.
You know.
Yeah, no, and I totally get what they're saying. Like, but basically, Jay-Z is not revered to the level that he is in New York. Mm-hmm. But what they're saying is, like, for instance, like Houston specifically, they was like, no, like I said, the Jay-Z down here is Scarface. The Jay-Z down here is Bun B. You know what I'm saying? Like, our Kanye West is Travis Scott, literally. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got it. We don't need y'all legends propped up to us. We recognize that we have our own legends. And to me, I believe the reinforcement of that is making sure media outlets are propping up them. Just because a nigga made New York media don't mean that they don't need that local love still.
Right, yeah.
Like, there should have been a fucking documentary on fucking Scarface catching COVID-19, my nigga. Like,
facts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Like, there should be a documentary and constant posting about everything Bun B did to get his own college course or Chamillionaire becoming a venture capitalist. But no, we're waiting for New York to be like, oh, yo, we see what y'all did. It's 2020. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, I don't want to hear sympathy for nobody. It's way too much technology. It's this
Mm-hmm.
like we know how sounds travel and take over. The fact that there hasn't been a 5-part documentary on 3 6 Mafia and how they changed hip hop twice is baffling to me, because like at least somebody in Tennessee or Mississippi or Texas or Georgia, somebody in the South should have been covering that in detail, and it should already be out and
Right,
show,
yeah.
and Cardi B and G-Eazy and ASAP Rocky and everybody else and Ferg and everybody else that's not from there should be giving their pieces on, like, yeah, no, 3-6, that was what my cousins used to listen to, or I got an uncle that's from Memphis, and that's what he played at the family reunion. Like, it should be those kind of stories being shared, because everybody seems to remember Jay-Z and Dame and Big shopping Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so how come we can't get that same shit for chapter two, World Domination?
Yeah. You know what? I think what it is, even though I totally agree, I think it means more, like I said with the Grammys and all that shit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It means more when they do it, because they still hold the key of, we started this shit. Like, no matter how you slice it or how many years removed we are from Cool Herc throwing those parties in the Bronx,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling of Run DMC coming to the town, performing sucking MCs for those first batch of New York artists,
Mm-hmm.
that still carries weight. They still have reverence for that shit. So by proxy, their kids and grandkids have a slight respect for that. Like, if New York say that this shit is dope, look, we own type of thing. Whereas, yeah, it's cool, but like, your girl, like, just using this, your girl know you if you on MTV or you on Complex, versus if you on MemphisHipHop.com type shit.
Okay, Jones. So to your point, while New Yorkers are holding up that, everybody in the South is hanging on to what Andre 3000 said in '96 at the Source Awards, or '95.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody below the equator make a move, the South got something to say. Nigga, y'all been running shit the last 20 fucking years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What else did you have to fucking say? How about the South then said it, and it ain't no more else to be said?
Right, yeah.
Like, dog, stop playing this underdog shit. Y'all not Rudy. You're not Radio. You're not Lucas. You niggas won. You're not the Little Giants. You're the fucking Dallas Cowboys. You're the New England Patriots. You're the 72-10 Bulls. You're the Lakers of the 60s. You're the Celtics of the 60s and the 50s. Like, you niggas won. And you keep fucking winning. And y'all and all y'all breeding is a bunch of new niggas that feel like they got obstacles that they can't surmount. Get the fuck out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want to hear that shit ever again in my fucking life. Cause Chicago ain't had a 5-year run.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Memphis and Nashville ain't had a 5-year run in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Shit. Miami's run was taken over by Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
he ain't
man.
even from there and shit.
Thank you, Jones. Like, dog, I don't want to hear that shit. Shit, it took Pac to move to get the West Coast a run.
Yeah.
Like, dog, y'all got the longest run in hip hop. Ain't no Southern bias no more. And don't try to throw me with these all lives matter fucks that exist. I ain't saying racism don't exist. I'm not trying to say there's no bullshit like that, like racism don't exist or no shit like that. But dog, like, you can't be winning. Let's call it fair, Jones. Let's say 05 was the start of the real wins. Even though Ludacris had dropped, see that, and that's the thing. See, Ludacris is here in 2000.
Right, yeah.
Ludacris sold 6 million in 2 albums. He
That's
wrecked
true.
Atlanta.
That's true.
Jermaine Dupri was moving millions on a rap album. Like, so I've really got to say, like, we'll just call it a spade. 15 years, let's just do that. Let's say that even though the beginning of T.I. and Luda and even what Jermaine Dupri was doing, it was, but look, Outkast, they dropped in years before 2005. They're being regarded as the greatest rap group of all time. You know what I'm saying? All of their albums that mean something and are the impactful ones and are so-called the best of that time, they're all before 2005. So I feel like I'm disrespecting when I don't count 2000 to 2020 when I say the South's entire run.
Right. Okay.
So with that being said, you can't be 20-0 and be like, oh man, I wish we could get a break. Nigga, have y'all seen the Floyd Mayweather interview? Like, that's like, dog. What the South collectively on to me, Jones, is literally when fucking Mayweather was 38-0, saying like, man, I just wish that I could really catch a break and really get the fight that I want. Huh? You beat 38 people, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, what are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about? You beat 38 motherfuckers up. What are you talking about? Like, do you want to just go to the heavyweight division? I mean, what are you looking for here? You want to fight Roy Jones? Like, what do you want to do? Like,
right.
So I don't. So I want just the lens to be turned. Like, we can't be on that shit. We can't be on that. The South is still fighting for equality. How are you fighting for some shit that you running? How many CEOs walk out and give the keys to the part-timers, dog?
Yeah.
Like, man, come on, man. I'm just, like, that shit blows my mind. Please stop it. Like, I get it. Some people on the East Coast might think y'all Bamas and all that, but them niggas don't run shit. Like, it don't matter what they think. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to throw things in their face like, you know what? Jay-Z called UGK for a hit.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Ain't even damn they didn't do the song.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to highlight shit like that. Y'all need to highlight how all these East Coast niggas want to work with Lil Jon because he was tearing shit up. Like, we gotta change the conversation. We gotta. I mean, again, I can't stress enough. T.I and Ludacris, the guys that definitely made me look twice at who Jay-Z really think is moving units out here.
Yeah, that's a fact, though. That's a fact.
So, like, yo, stop. Look, if there's an East Coast bias that does exist, okay, recognize it. But then recognize also that your whole region is more powerful than one state's bias. Because let's be clear, it's called New York bias, not East Coast bias. That means Jersey ain't in on it.
No,
Jones. No.
Bro, nah.
What's in Jersey, Jones? What's in Jersey?
Jersey is like New York by proxy. That's like Gary in Chicago. Come on, man.
And you know for 100,000 fact, Chicago niggas is not gonna say Gary niggas is Chicago niggas. They not gonna do it, Jones.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
All right.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's called New York bias. Jersey ain't in it. Philly ain't in it. Like, Philly's not in it. Stamford, Connecticut is not in it. DC, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, Jones. Look, I know what you want to say, but look, you live it. You live it yourself.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Dog, like, at the end of the day, they gonna tell you your mayor ain't Lori Lightfoot. You ain't in Cook County. We passed the state line. You not us. Keep it moving with all that shit. Now, look, we'll move over there into Hammond, into Crown Point, and everywhere else.
Yep.
But Illinois, like Chicago people, are not Gary, Indiana people, and it don't matter what Freddie Gibbs say, and it don't matter how many Chicago niggas be fucking girls from Gary. It's never the same. It's never the same.
That's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
So New York borough, because like, look, even New York borough ain't upstate New York. Griselda's proving that to you. Look, New York bias. Westside Gunn said it's New York City bias. He said it's New York borough bias over upstate New York. He was like, Flex, don't fuck with us because we ain't from a borough.
Yeah.
So Jones, again, Jersey ain't in it. Like they not. Like it's called New York City bias, New York City borough bias specifically. Everybody has their gripe about New York, and you know what? Outside of Cardi B, everybody's put out somebody hotter than New York for quite a while now too, and they need to start recognizing it and to start celebrating it. They need to start highlighting it because y'all clinging on the South got something to say. You niggas are bugging. That's like that's like ignoring the 3-second violation on offense and defense in the NBA now. That's like thinking you can hold the ball for 27 seconds. It's like, no, look, Wilt Chamberlain already changed that. Look, like, bro, yo, it's a shot clock now. It's 24 seconds, dude. Get your shit off.
Look, man, what it is the South now is making them pay for what their ex-girlfriend did to them back in the day. Yeah, you love me now, but that bitch didn't let me get my shit off at the Source Award. That's what we basically dealing with right now.
But meanwhile, you in a mansion with a battered bitch and 3 beautiful kids that are geniuses, Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's
dog.
True.
So now we just wanna ruin a bitch life that we don't even want.
Facts.
We gotta ruin a woman's life we don't even want. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna send one of my niggas over there to give her chlamydia. Like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I hope you catch the coronavirus. Like, why are you doing that? You won. Be at peace.
Why you focused on that?
Yeah, be at peace, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So
that's hilarious.
So yo, New York bias, too much self-sympathy. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that. I definitely wanted the bulk of the show to be about that because things got out of hand and we're about to get to the out of hand shit. This episode might definitely be 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Please buckle up.
All right, let's go.
Banging on lunch tables.
You damn right.
Jones, every single person and yourself included have got 50 Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and Clifford T.I. Harris fucked up.
Oh shit, let's see what you're talking about.
Every last one of you. And I gotta include you on this because I seen some of your comments, my brother.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
You're fucking bugging too, and we're going to talk about it. So real quick, T.I. versus 50 Cent versus, long story short, it's never going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, Jones. And I'm okay with that for this reason.
Why?
50 Cent doesn't like anybody. He's not anybody's fucking friend.
True. That's true.
50 Cent, when he threw out Snoop as his versus opponent, that means that was the only person that he truly liked and respected, and anybody else, it's fuck you season until we die. And you know what? 50 Cent has a right to feel that way. He really does. If you really look at the inception of his career, and no, niggas, it's not from the day that Dr. Dre and Eminem signed him to Shady Aftermath.
Right.
It's back in the fucking late 90s on the Mad Rapper album when How to Rob debuts. And then when Power of a Dollar comes out, and 50 Cent is the future, and Guess Who's Back, and the joint that's the No Mercy something. Whatever that genius shit is, the No Mercy because...
Oh, No Fear, No Mercy?
Yes, No Fear, No Mercy. Because newsflash, to the uneducated, Beg for Mercy is actually part 2 of the G-Unit mixtape series. It's just an album. All right? But again, I'm here to educate you niggas today because you got everybody fucked up. So I say that, and to be like, at the end of the day, 50... experienced New York bias too.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, New York bias is what kept him out of the industry, essentially. You know? Like, the politics behind the scenes from every major label that was being ran, and we don't know who made calls and who said what about what, but bottom line is, the How to Rob record rubbed everybody the wrong way, and they thought the best way to deal with 50 Cent was to make sure that he never made $1 in the music industry.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even Pun, who didn't even live to get to the end of 2000, dissed 50 Cent on Yeah Baby.
Yeah, that's a
So,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z dissed him on Volume 3. Like, him and Nas fall out. Like, they diss each other. Like, everybody played their game of politics, and it took him going to Shady Aftermath on the West Coast, by way, you know what I'm saying, West Coast Midwest connection, to actually get him a deal. And that's why, you know what, I have no problem if 50 want to slap the shit out of anybody that says anything to Eminem.
Ooh,
Because you know
yep,
what? Because at
true.
the end of the day, Eminem is the only cat that has rolled with him from the door regardless, and he's never had an issue with. 50's even had an issue with Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
and he still
Mm-hmm.
never let that affect his relationship with Snoop and Eminem.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes to me on a whole nother level that I don't even think people are recognizing. But I'm I'm just not mad at it. Now, granted, do I feel that the it would have been a good matchup? Yeah, absolutely. I think it would have been a very good matchup. Um,
Oh yeah.
like again, you niggas is bugging. I got
Mm-hmm.
11-9. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson 11-9.
Nah,
Exactly. Go ahead,
nah.
Jones. Start talking here. Start talking here because I want to hear this. I want audio evidence of this, Jones. Let's go.
Hey man, I like 50 Cent. I was a big 50 fan. G Unit all the way, right?
Right.
But T.I got this one faded, man. By a slight edge, though. I don't think it's a clean sweep. I ain't gonna go that far.
Oh, so you
But
changed. So you've changed since.
I don't think I said it was a sweep.
Jones, you was like, oh, this gonna be easy. All caps, exclamation points. You did everything but say it would be 17-3, Jones. That's what I'm gonna say.
You know what though? Okay, I'll ease off the gas of that a little bit, but I think I'll say this: I definitely think Ti takes this one because Ti has a deeper career than 50.
What are we saying when we say deep? Because I've seen people say that a few times. But what do we mean by career depth here?
Okay, like a lot of people lean heavy when it comes to 50 Cent. They lean heavy on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
A little less heavy on the massacre. Depending on who you ask, some people say it's whack. Some people say it's a classic. It's a clear split on that. By the time we get to Curtis, it's pretty much we putting a nice bow on 50 Cent's musical career. Like, he cool. We still respect him. We still fuck with him. But you doing other shit now, fam. Go ahead, mosey on out the way. By T.I.'s third album, we still fucking with him full speed ahead. That's Urban Legend. So even if you take I'm Serious off of there, his third album is King. So like if you just say, all right, I'm Serious is a flop. Why nobody listen to that? Why nobody fucking with that? His third album is King. His fourth well, T.I. versus T.I.P. That's a slight misstep, but he's right back at it with Paper Trail. I think it's a little harder for 50 Cent to beat that after we get done with Get Rich or Die Trying and you get to the Massacre. After that, it's like T.I.'s really rocking. So it's gonna be hard to beat those records.
Okay, Jones. See, this is why when I labeled this portion started off as a 50 Cent education. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Exactly everything that you just said. We're just saying Get Rich or Die Trying and the Massacre, and then and I'll give everybody. Let me concede right now. Yes, album for album, T.I. over 50 Cent. Right.
Okay.
Albums by that specific artist. I'll give him that. So, again, I mean, Get Rich over I'm Serious forever and a day.
Of course, yeah.
Trap music over the Massacre, Urban Legend over Curtis, King over is it Before I Self-Destruct?
Yep.
And I mean, hell, hey, but look though, I'll say this: Animal Ambition over fucking T.I. versus T.I.P. But Paper Trail cleans all that shit up anyway.
Yep.
Paper Trail cleans up a lot of 50's catalog. No, I mean, like, and if y'all want to throw like War Angel and shit in there, okay, cool. But still, Paper Trail all fucking day.
Right. Yep.
But here's the deal, Jones. We have to really start looking beyond Get Rich or Die Trying, the original album, and we gotta start looking at the 2-year run that 50 Cent had that is completely undoable in our lifetime, Jones.
Okay.
And it ain't even about numbers right now. It's the amount of quality and quantity. Like many of you don't even realize that during that period of time, 50 Cent put out what was instrumental in putting out the biggest moments of like 5 albums.
Okay.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Get Rich or Die Trying, his album.
Right. Right.
The documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Beg for Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
The Massacre.
Okay.
And fucking damn, what was it? Oh, and Lloyd Banks' album.
Right, yeah.
Hunger for More. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause Straight Outta Cashville, Young Buck kind of did his own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also, 6, I'm sorry, Tony Yayo. No, Tony Yayo was 06. No.
Yeah, he's an 06, yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So Tony Yayo was 06. So, but again, 5 albums, which are all filled with a definite 20 songs that he can use in just 2 years. And Jones,
Yep.
help me if I'm wrong. Did I even mention the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack?
No, you did not.
Well, damn it. That's what we totally disregard that 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson put out, helped and was instrumental in putting out 6 albums, 3 of them which were his own.
You're right.
And they all produced 5 or more hits each. So when we talk, and we can talk about those too. So when we talk about career depth, who else put out 15 fucking hits in 2 years?
Okay, I see where you're going.
Like, dog, like, it's 7 joints on fucking Get Rich or Die Trying. But there's 3 that he can use in the documentary. There's another 1 or 2 for sure he can use on Banks' album, but it's 2 or 3 on the Get Rich soundtrack. There's 4 on the Massacre. He can use every single G-Unit song. Dog.
Now
they put out 4 singles on those albums, 4 or 5 singles on all of those albums.
Now, what you're saying is true, but I think you're leaning a little heavy on the span of time and not the weight of some of those records. Yes, that is an incredible run, especially in a short amount of time. But are those records going to carry the same amount of weight as T.I.'s records and T.I.'s guest appearances? Because he got a lot of those as well. Yeah. They might not be of his own crew that have the same magnitude or reach the same heights. But his guest features are going to carry just as much weight.
Jones, are we sure about that? Because the thing about 2003 to 2005 is that trap music and urban legend drop at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
So arguably, his best 2 albums or 2 of his best albums come out during 50 Cent's run. And he don't miss a beat. So, I mean, what are we truly saying in that respect?
Those T.I. guest appearances still are valuable in the culture. They still hold a lot of weight.
Right.
Whereas some of those G-Unit records is just nostalgia. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and that's it. You gonna tuck them joints right back in where you at.
Jones, we saying that, but are you telling me that Bring 'Em Out is over Hustler's Ambition?
Ooh, that's a good matchup.
Right.
I would take Hustler's Ambition. That's just a person.
Well, okay, boom, there you go. His lead.
Okay.
Look, T.I.'s lead hit single from his 3rd album versus the lead single for 50 Cent's soundtrack, and you got that song over it.
Okay, that's fair. But then T.I.'s got records like What You Know About That.
Right.
He got joints like that.
Hey.
Even when you step into the corny joints like the him and Rihanna Live Your Life. Huge record.
Right.
Huge.
And Jones. What you know is winning any round.
Right. Okay.
And for me personally, it's either a win or a draw versus In the Club. I'm going there. Right?
Yeah, okay.
But lip out of spite, if he went first and fucking Live Your Life came on, fucking 50 Cent would play I Get Money. Like, just to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or he would play What Up Gangsta, be like, okay, cool, do something, but you think that shit's better than this,
right?
Because they're different for different reasons, and if everything applies to what y'all said in Fad versus Jada, then What Up Gangsta's winning against Live Your Life, Jones.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And matter of fact, Wanksta is winning against Live Your Life based on what y'all was saying about the Fad Jada shit. That's winning.
I agree. Now, okay. But if we go deeper into the catalog, say for instance, you do Wanksta versus ASAP or joints like Motivation, you still got contenders in there. That's like I don't know. It's a push. Go either way.
But again, like, but what you're saying is it's a draw, but 50's still up because he won the Hustler's Ambition versus Bring 'Em Out now. That's what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hey, it can be 1-0-2. Okay, fine. 50's up, and you only got 15 more rounds left. Like, that's it. Like, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, yeah, we want to talk that nostalgia shit, but here's the deal: both of their biggest records, the majority of them come out at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time. I mean, shit. And if they want to go album for album, so then it is it's T.I versus TIV against Curtis. So is Big Things, Big Shit Poppin' better than I Get Money, Jones? Where you going with that?
Ooh, definitely I Get Money. I Get Money all day. Yeah.
It's 2-0-2, Jones. That's what you're saying. So yeah. So again, I just like it ain't about nostalgia. It's keeping it real moments, right?
Okay.
I get it. 50 Cent is not everybody's favorite. And right. I get it. T.I is the king. And he's the king of the South, and he has a legendary career, and it should be highlighted as such. But we're not going to let our personal feelings, now that a wave is over, disregard what actually fucking happened.
Okay.
Because the bottom line is, in 3 years, 50 Cent was moving about 30 million albums in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that ain't just by no shit, that's the wave. That ain't just by no shit that you think is popping right now, because it's a lot of other shit that was popping right now that ain't moved half the units that 50 and G Unit moved. So we gotta make sure that we're not getting that confused.
I agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Crack a Bottle is not gonna make 50's list. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he, again, to the goofballs in the back, he's not gonna play AO Technology. Like, he doesn't have to play I'll Still Kill with Akon. He doesn't, like, it's a bunch of shit he doesn't have to fucking play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, he don't have to play the Power soundtrack to get around. Like, I mean, the Power intro to get around. Like, you niggas are bugging. Like,
that's a fact.
Like, you literally forgot who the fuck Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say his name right eventually in the show. I promise. But and you know, I mean, also, Jones, though, I would love for people to realize that if Power of a Dollar was on the streaming platforms, and Guess Who's Back was on the streaming platforms, that Ghetto Quran would be around for me for 50 Cent, Jones.
Ooh.
Ghetto Quran would be around. Like, I want to really educate people on people thinking that he just started putting out dope music and having hit records at 2003. Like, no, you're way late to the party. I mean, shit, technically Your Life's on the Line came out before his deal.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, so niggas are bugging. And I only want 50 to do verses for one reason.
Why?
I want to see if he's going to play Bad Boys for Life or not. Like, I really want, like, I need that answer, Jones. Because still to this day, I stand by Bad Boys for Life off of P. Diddy and the Family's album is a 50 Cent song featuring Black Rob and Mark Curry. And I think he wrote the first verse and the hook of that. Where the reason why is because the relationship with the Mad Rapper, which is Eric D. Angeletti, you know what I'm saying? Based on their relationship and that song, I don't think that was the only thing he did while being surrounded by the hitmen, and then he just left and got shot, and then that was over. I just don't believe it happened that way. And I believe
I'm not mad at that theory.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I want. I was like, yo, didn't you do that? Play that shit. I want to hear that. because yo, that's around Jones. Bad Boys for Life. I mean, unless T.I is really gonna go to like, I don't know, fucking shit. I don't even know what he'll play to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna give him that round because I think he'll waste a round. Like, you don't want to play top back when that comes on. You kind of got to throw off.
I don't know though. I don't know. See, and I just thought of something. This might depend on who's in the room, but at the same time, 50 is 50, and that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of East Coast people in that room, and that's going to carry a lot of weight when it comes to these records. Like we just spent like 45 minutes talking about East Coast bias.
Right.
That would kick in under these circumstances. I think it'll be an even split. It'll be an even split on certain records. Because some shit is gonna be like, hey, well, yeah, I feel you, but nah, this top back though, this shit hard. Like I remember when I had 12s in the trunk for that shit. You know.
Hey Jones, listen. I stand by my statement. 11. It would be 11-9-50 if they were ever going to do it, but they're not going to do it. But excuse me. I'm just going to say that off top. Like it's close. Like everybody saying that the other person was going to get washed is stupid. It's stupid. Like dog. Like but this is why I pay attention to the lyric listeners. I pay attention to the actual music consumers, the purchasers, and the people that actually are talking about shit beyond what they grew up listening to. And this is why I don't listen to every fucking body, Jones. This is why we don't have a lot of guests on the show. I don't want to hear from a lot of niggas' opinions. This is why I only want to do this show with you. Like, this is why. Nothing better than what people think about T.I and 50 Cent made me think like this is exactly why we do banging on lunch tables the way we do. Because a lot of these niggas are fucking stupid, and I hate to be disrespectful in that manner, but I can tell who you do and don't listen to, and it irks me when you have so much to say.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying? But to switch gears, I did make some playlist for you all out there.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's 50. And it's the king, bitch. Both on title right now. 20 joints that I believe would or should get used in a versus battle for either of those gentlemen. You can put them up against each other, or you can put them up against somebody else that you like. The bottom line is it would be better than every song that Fab's DJ picked on the last verses.
That's a fact.
Also, my Street Fam Fab list is still up on Tidal as well, which is a much better list of 20 to represent Fab than what happened that day. I think that's going to be my new thing now, Jones. When I feel people are severely uneducated about the artist at hand, I'm going to make a playlist. I think
you want to help them out?
Yeah, because it's only right. I just can't come over here and scream on the mic and say a bunch of shit and just ignore people. It's like I gotta educate you all too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think that's very important. So since I realized how many people really did not listen to Fab beyond freestyles and a few hit singles, I had to put out 20 actual songs that exist from Fab to let them know, like, no, this is why I was saying Fab could win this. You know what I'm saying?
And you got shit fucked up.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like, granted, when I said Fab was gonna win, again, I didn't think it would be by much. I mean, I know who Jadakiss is, but at the end of the day, it's versus full songs. I'm like, Fab rap 2 more times with some of these songs. They're better to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the fact that a Fab verse is going to go up against a Chic Lucha verse, it's a win for me in some respects.
True that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
So when I was like, man, it could be 12-8 Fab. That's why. Like, you know, like, yeah, the other niggas got a rap in the locks. And I love Styles P.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? But again, certain songs and Chic Luch, the hooks, like, yo, come on, man. Fab makes better records than them niggas. And I don't think they got highlighted enough, of course, by what got displayed. But that's past episode. Fuck all that. Let's get into what I'm definitely having as the actual topic of the show for today.
Okay.
Banging on lunch tables.
You damn right.
Does T.I have 5 classic albums, Jones?
No.
Okay, so
no.
Did you see that part of his interview as well?
Yeah, I did. I saw that part.
Okay, so for everybody that might be unaware of what we're talking about, and T.I was challenged on it by Ebro, so shout out to him for doing that. He was right to do that.
Yeah.
And this is circling back around to Jones and his regional classic theory. I'll say theory, because he honestly might be right, but basically T.I said he has 5 classic albums. He was like, I don't have a Diamond album in regards to 50 Cent. He was like, but he don't got 5 classic albums. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going with that. And then like he was immediately halted, like, whoa, 5 classics. And T.I went straight to it. I'm Serious, Trap Music, Urban Legend, King, and Paper Trail. So I was like, okay, this is somebody very aware of his catalog.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for this. But I still think he's wrong. But I think he might be right, Jones.
5?
Not 5.
Is a stretch.
Not 5.
Okay.
Not 5 for me, because I think I'm vocal on this platform that when I said I thought T.I I'm Serious was kind of garbage.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Garbage. I wouldn't say garbage. Just, you can see he's working the kinks out. He's trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah, exactly. It sounded unpolished. It didn't sound strong and flow. It sounded, you know what? Much like I give Kanye West his props for glowing up between College Dropout and Late Registration.
Right.
I think the glow up is even greater for T.I when I listen to I'm Serious versus Trap Music.
Okay. All right. I'm not mad at that.
I look at it from that perspective. Like, and I mean, like, when I say garbage, it's like, now keep in mind, I'm hearing this after Paper Trail is out.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And my cousin is telling me, yo, you should really check out that I'm Serious, man. It sounded a lot like that. I was like, oh, word? Really? No.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, and I feel in a lot of respect I was totally sent off. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not listenable, but for where T.I is in his career, to me, that album is in the bottom of it. Like, I'm Serious is at the bottom of his catalog. It's not. I don't even think it's really in the middle. Like, okay, No Mercy, you know what I'm saying? T.I versus T.I.P. and I'm Serious. They can all tie for last to me, and I'd be okay.
Okay.
So.
All right. You know what? This is what I'll say. As far as I'm Serious is concerned. Because I caught that after its initial release. It's not bad. It's cool. Definitely not a classic, though. But if I had to count T.I.'s classics, I'd say Trap Music. I'd say Urban Legend. I'll give you King, because for what was going on with T.I. around that time, I'll give you King. And I'll say Paper Trail.
So
he arguably has 4.
Okay, so we're on the same page, because I will admit, and I'm going to listen to Urban Legend again like this week, because I meant to do it this week, and I did not. But I can't front, Jones. I'm starting to really think that T.I does have 4 classic albums.
Ooh, okay.
And the reason why I think that is because of his argument about himself and again his whole aspect of New York bias, and again I even think back to my own experience of seeing Atlanta react to a debut album or an album dropping from both of those gentlemen.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't down in Atlanta when trap music dropped, but shit,
right.
look what the phrase trap music has become today.
Exactly.
So I think unquestionably that's a classic. We'll never argue with him about that. Plus the content is superb on
Mm-hmm.
trap music. Urban Legend. Urban Legend. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jones.
All right.
But between that record and Cassidy's, this is the start of the. We gonna get the Jay-Z or the Biggie lyrics for the hook.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Also, ASAP, Motivation, and You Don't Know Me are on that album.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is also the first one where he shot the video and went to jail, and they tried to shoot the video in jail, and then it was a prison breakout, and they extended this time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of elements to that particular album. I mean, including the, you know what I'm saying, the little flip beef. Hits
Yeah.
fever pitch with this also,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of what sets that shit off. I'm now in a place where we sit right now, Jones, where if somebody was to call that album specifically a classic, I would not argue.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, number 3 then is King.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, because I was still in Atlanta for this release, and although the reaction wasn't Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101 level,
Right.
I'm not gonna act like that album, specifically in Georgia, Jones, when people were really saying like, "Hey, yo, man, T.I, like, he really is the king of the South. He's really the best rapper in the South. Like, he's really the best. Like, we need to start putting him in a different conversation."
Okay.
I'll say that. Because, you know, this is also in the midst of Jeezy doing his thing, Gucci, of course, and then you got Ross on the way with Hustling. Like, all that's about to happen or has happened in the South. You know what I'm saying? Shoulder Lean is already out. It's already out. The summer of '05 for Atlanta. Snap music is, everybody's prospering, but yet, like, I'll say the city of Atlanta moved T.I to rare air when King
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like to me, watching it outside looking in, King is T.I.'s blueprint.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
now, granted, I don't think, but I'll keep it a buck with you on this, Jones. I don't even think this is the best of the 4 albums. I think
Me
it's
neither.
actually number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as like songs that I'll definitely go back to, I think. But again, I gotta listen to Urban Legend again. It might be 3. It might be 3, but I don't have it above trap music ever, and I don't have it above Paper Trail ever.
Okay.
So, but I'll say, I mean, so again, and maybe this is where that New York bias, and he can feel it, comes, is because, yo, that shit that y'all printed about me being the Jay-Z of the South, that shit is real here, and y'all not covering it like it is.
Exactly.
Like y'all,
Exactly.
like now y'all have moved on. You've moved on to Jeezy. You've moved on to Ross. You're trying to, like, you're trying to build this thing with me and Ludacris. You're doing other shit besides recognizing that, hey, maybe just maybe right now I'm the best rapper alive, and maybe just maybe I'm the hottest rapper moving right now, and you're not respecting it.
Yep.
And so, and you know what? And to his point, you know what I'm saying? I can see I can see that being an issue, Jones, because shit, the Massacre and King come out around the same time, like in that pocket of time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I could see T.I wanting to put up, you know, Why You Wanna against Candy Shop or a little bit, just to be like, nah, that shit didn't bang harder than this.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I totally get that, and so in that regard, again, because I have heard people not from Georgia also call King a classic. So, boom,
Yep.
I'm not mad at anybody that is also calling that album a classic.
Okay.
Which brings us to Paper Trail, Jones.
Mm-hmm. Now,
To
this is what I would say is T.I.'s blueprint. I
okay,
feel you.
okay, bet because I think undoubtedly this is the best Ti album.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard this album, I said Ti is the best rapper alive.
Ooh, okay.
So I come from that perspective. Like to me, I felt this album was a classic, but never wanted to say it because I was just waiting to see what it would do.
Right. Okay.
But I can't lie to you. Um, we never got a chance to see what it would do because he went to prison.
You think so? You think we really didn't get a chance to see what the album would do?
There was no paper trail tour, Jones.
Ooh, okay. I give you that.
You
But
know what
I'll
I'm saying?
say this: the promotion and lead up for that album was insane because this is
Yes.
the he's going to jail album. Even though he was on, they made it seem like T.I was gonna be gone for 5 years plus.
Right.
He was only gonna be gone for a year. But it was like, yo, I gotta do this community service. I'm making this great ass album. You gotta check my TV show. I'm doing all this shit, and I'm going to jail. There's a countdown clock on this shit.
Right. And see, and Jones, what I believe happens at that is possibly the biggest tour that ever comes from the South that we don't get.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
because to me, I'm thinking Ti with Dro. They had Young LA at that time, and
yep.
I believe to a degree that some other pieces that we didn't expect, like a Jeezy, because he's in between albums because the
Mm-hmm.
recession is on the way after this.
Right.
I believe potentially the biggest hip hop tour to with all Southern acts is going to take place, and it doesn't because he goes to jail.
Ooh, yeah, I agree with that.
So like, because like that like we're easing out of the defining moment areas, and we're getting into blogger rap at that point.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
true.
you know what I'm saying. So when I say like, so you're absolutely correct. The build up to all of that very real, and but the thing is, it wasn't about how fire Paper Trail is and how dope it is. It's about him securing a future for his family and his finances because he's got to go to jail.
Yeah, okay,
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
right.
It's about him being caught with guns and essentially signing an undercover cop to a record deal.
Yeesh.
you,
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? Like it's never about like it's like they don't even give like the thing is rest in peace Shorty Low. It don't even help him out.
right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like he's not even in a situation where the songs that he putting out and moving are getting him elevated to be in the conversation with Ti. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like they're just kind of there. Like everybody's just kind of there. Now, don't get me wrong. In his absence, he rings off hella hard in Georgia, and
Right,
and ain't I mean not ain't I they know becomes a big hit. It's a smash record,
right.
but to be real, Shorty Low kind of needed Ti to be free and going at him to even
Yeah,
make that a
yeah.
bigger situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
I want to call it a classic because we never got to see what it do. Like literally, it's almost literally like seeing Lynn Bias die from
Ooh,
the OD. It's like,
yeah.
yo, he already gave it to Jordan. He the top pick. I can't wait for him to get in the Celtics and do his fucking thing, and it never happens.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? But we can't deny that he was great from what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't deny that Paper Trail is great from what you hear. Like the shit sounds fucking phenomenal,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
it doesn't get a chance to perform like I think it's going to exceed expectations. I think that album is to your point of it being Blueprint. I think it becomes undoubtedly that Ti is the best, or in the now in that cold Mount Rushmore conversation, like all of that
Yeah,
shit. I believe that moment stamps it if he gets
yeah,
to do what he's supposed to do with that album.
yeah. Oh man, the big what if that
Yeah.
is always in hip hop.
Yeah. So I won't lie. I mean, like I think for a long time, all of us were saying like nobody has more than three classics, or if anybody does have more than three, it's Jay. But I think we got to open that conversation up to Ti.
Yeah, man, we got to shed that New York bias.
Shut the New York bias. But see, the thing is here, Jones. a conversation like that is going to lead to everybody else saying the same shit about their artists. Like, cause shit, I've already seen people think Common got 5 classic albums.
Huh?
See?
Yeah.
And somebody near where you live too, Jones.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
But the thing is, I think with T.I, it can be proven.
Mm-hmm.
It can be proven. Like, and again, it's not all about the sales. I can't tell you how many units any of T.I's albums will. I just assume that they're all platinum. Because,
right. Yeah.
Because the stat he was holding is that I outsell myself every time. So, and you can't do that if you're not increasing the quality of your product. One, because you're getting your fan base, broadened. Two, and if you can do that while being in and out of jail, you've won forever. 3, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I just want to throw it out there. I'm not with him having 5 classics. Somebody in Atlanta got to show me documented footage of what I'm Serious did in Atlanta, because listening to it, nah, sorry, bro.
Nah.
Like,
good album at best for me.
Yeah, good at best.
Because even like the joint that everybody points to, what's that, Dope Boys or some shit like that. Yeah. That song is just to me. When I heard it, I was like, oh, this the shit everybody be like saying was like his breakout joint in the streets. So I was like, nah, I'll take 24.
Yeah, man, that shit is not that hard, bro. I mean, hey, you know what? And I get it. I'm a Midwest kid from the middle of nowhere, but nah. At the level I fuck with all the rest of the shit, you just can't convince me that was the one. It's like, nah. I mean, I can see everybody saying like, oh man, a lot of potential. He could be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see that. Or they'd be like, yeah, because like he can rap. You can tell from the intro. Oh no, T.I can rap.
Yeah,
but that album's not that good. It's just not that good.
I'll say it's good. Just he got so much better.
Yeah, exponentially better. But oh well. You know what I'm saying? But hey, does T.I have 4 classics, 5 out classics, or less? Let us know. Let us know. Yeah. I'm very curious about this because we are in 2020. Every album that we've mentioned is at least 10 years old. So we are like, this is the perfect time to have this conversation. And that's what I talk about when I say let shit breathe, let shit live. Ooh. Because you just don't know what the perception of those albums will be when you hit a dime. You just don't know.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. So, I mean, shit. Apparently, 50 Cent only dropped 1 album in 17 years. For some of y'all, he only dropped 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but I mean, and then everybody was saying everything was classic. You know what I'm saying? In real time, they got classics. Everybody got classics. But now, oh man, you think Get Rich can beat all them albums? It's like he dropped 6 albums. So, so you know.
Yep.
So it is what it is. I hope you guys have taken all that as an educational moment. That's what I wanted to hopefully provide along with Jones. And we're here for the feedback, so let us know something. Banging on lunch tables.
You damn right.
New music is out, Jones.
Yep.
And this won't take long. I just listened to YG Swag before the show.
Okay.
Not a bad joint. It was cool. I like YG.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like YG, so you know what I'm saying? I mess with him. And that's see him out doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully in good mental health with everything with Nip and just his own personal life and all that. I just hope things are good for him. And I'm glad that he's back to creating and putting out music that I still mess with. You know? Then we got Kid Cudi and Eminem. The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim Jones. Did you hear this record?
Yeah, I checked it out.
Okay. All right, so
it's definitely better than what I thought it was gonna be.
Okay,
but it ain't something I gotta hear all the time.
I got you. I understand that. What I want to say, man, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and I don't care who the fuck has anything to say about what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Kid Cudi is so fucking weak, dog. This nigga weak, dog. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god. Like this, yo, this nigga weak, Jones. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Wait, so are you telling me you never messed with Man on the Moon? I probably asked you this before.
You know what? I'll say this. I gave it a listen, but I tuned out so many times in it that I would honestly have to listen to it again to even give you an honest critique like now on it. And the thing is, I remember a few decent joints on there, and I really do mean 3 to 4.
Okay.
But dog, nah, man. Nah, Kid Cudi is weak to me, bruh. Look.
That shit gets no play in your ride, man?
Absolutely no play in this ride, bro. Somebody gotta help me out. Because and the thing is, I know what some of y'all are about to say, and I get it. He's an artist, and he's creating music, and he's made so many vibes. But yo, this nigga can't really rap. Like, when it comes to rap, like rapping.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He sucks to me. He just sucks to me. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But if that's what the fuck that y'all think I need to be listening to, I'd rather not have eardrums. I'd rather not.
Man.
Yo, listen. Eminem, on the other hand, killed it, though.
Yeah, that's
Eminem,
a fact.
Look, this is probably Eminem's best verse of the year. Depending on how you feel about what you heard on Music to Be Murdered By. But this shit is... Em went hard. Like, that's why I get so angry when I hear people say that Eminem ain't for you, or Eminem is whack, or Eminem is whatever. Whatever we have to say about Eminem and his rapping ability, I listen to this and be like, what the fuck do y'all hear?
Right, yeah, I agree.
Because it's like, okay, even if the content ain't for you, we can't just start denying skill and ability. And that's what he is chock full of. Like, Eminem is a master craftsman at words. Like, he's the greatest rhymer ever. He took the title from Dr. Seuss when the Eminem show dropped. I keep telling you all this, but I don't think everyone hears me quite clearly. So I gotta keep saying it. But, dude, Eminem went bananas. Kid Cudi really fucked this up for me. Like, I haven't added it to my collection because he's on it. And it's like, dog, come on, man. First of all, if you're the Moon Man, and that's the shit you think up on the moon, you might as well come on back to Earth, bro. We ain't even, come on, man. Dog, you ain't went far enough. Try a different moon, my G. Because that ain't even like, come on, man. Jones. A nigga called himself the Moon Man. His first album is Man on the Moon. Yeah. And that's the kind of raps you giving us? Like those. Come on, man.
Now, the one thing I can say is, like, Cudi is at least consistent with that's what he's been on since I first heard him. Since I heard him on a Kid Named Cudi tape, and I was like, yo, man, what the fuck is this shit? But at the same time, it was something about it. I'm not the biggest Kid Cudi fan, but I do think that first Man on the Moon album is a classic. That shit is crazy. Other than that, I'm mostly cool on Cudi. I'm mostly cool on it. Straight up.
Jones, I'm gonna keep it so real, and I'm gonna listen to it just to see why you were calling it a classic. But where I sit right now, nobody that you're just cool off of now has a classic album from any period in their career. Like, that don't even make sense to me. Like, that don't even make sense. Like how can a nigga have a classic and you be cool on them at any point? Like,
hey man, like, you know, they go in a different musical direction, and I think Cudi went there full speed ahead.
Well, look, man. Eminem 5-star. Kid Cudi 3/4 of a star. But hey, listen to this song when you got a chance. Yeah. If anybody want to download it and just give me M's part on this, I'd appreciate it. Like, for real, this could have been a Shade 45 freestyle, Jones, and I would have been cool. Like, Go to Sway, cue the beat up, rap your verse for me, M, and then I'll be on my merry way, man. Like, nah, man, no, 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 no.
Man, just to keep it a buck though, I am glad M is finally working with different people. It took him a decade and a fucking half
Yeah.
to do so. So I'm glad he's expanded like what he or who he works with, because it gives him a different little bop. Like, even though this ain't my favorite shit I've ever heard, I like the fact that he's doing shit like this, and I wouldn't mind hearing more of it.
Word, yeah, no, absolutely. M deciding that the old school approaches of me and my team against the world, and versus like, yo, you know what? Let me really fuck with the people that fuck with me. I think it's a nice touch for M. It's also putting him again just in those spaces to show like, yo, no, I can really rap on any fucking thing, and I'm gonna rap amazingly every single time.
Hell yeah.
So I do like that, and you know what? And also, just in case he doesn't ever want to let that shit with MGK die, he does need to ingratiate himself alongside the youth of today and what they're fucking with. So at least they'll give him more of a fighting chance. Because you know what? He won the skills contest, but he lost the song battle, and that's what everybody's running with right now.
Hey, on the real.
You know, banging on lunch tables.
You damn right.
Jones, we also got the first, I believe the first of maybe a couple or a few posthumous albums from Juice WRLD.
Yes, sir.
Legends Never Die. Did you get a chance to check this out?
No, sir.
Okay. Cool.
R.I.P. to Juice WRLD, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I listened to it this morning after I did First Black Champ. All right, so I'm not gonna say this album is bad. I do kind of, I'm not even kind of, I get the appeal depending on where you are in life. But for me, I don't want to. I'm not going to use this not for me. I'm going to say I don't want to hear this. It's not about it not being for me. Because obviously he's tackling topics like, you know, relationship issues, anxiety, and just, you know, a lot of teen and even early 20. Like, everybody goes through this kind of trauma or just loss or just hurt or whatever. Like, people go through it. But me, Jones, personally, I don't want to hear the depressing side of it. I want to hear more triumph. I want it with the tragedy. I want to hear more solution. I want to hear more inspiration. Like, I'm just not a down in the dumps, so I'm going to get high and feel even lower type of person.
Right, yeah.
So I can't say that this album is bad, because I know for a fact the people that do what he's singing and rapping about on this album will be like, this is fucking amazing. Like, some people that have been where he is or what he's talking about are going to love this fucking album.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, I kind of look at it like, you know what? I mean, in a matter of respects, and I don't even think I'm being facetious or doing too much when I say this. Like, Juice WRLD was the Black Kurt Cobain.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And you know what? That shit wasn't for me either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need to hear that shit twice. Like, a lot of shit that he was singing about, nah. It's just not me. But I watched when he committed suicide, and the young girls in my classroom just started bursting into tears and were crying for days because they loved his music and they loved the perspective that he came from.
Right.
So I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, demean, malign, disrespect, disregard, or shit on this album. I can't. I can't. Because the content, I can say for a fact, we've all been in the place of one or more of these songs. But I think the way that you value and appreciate it is on how you dealt with those issues. I don't deal with my issues this way.
Right.
So I can't listen to this again.
I can feel you on that.
Okay. So that's what I got on the Juice WRLD Legends Never Die. I think it's very cool that they had like snippets of I think it was like Herbo and M and just other people just speaking on just like to what they believe is like just his musical genius and
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
and you know, and like and his ability to create like on the spot and like yeah, it's a couple few like it's a couple like interludes where they chop up like interviews. I think it's like intro, a couple in the middle of the album, and then like it's words from him on the end. Eerily enough, he was saying like he was in heaven.
Oh
You know what
wow.
I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was something he recorded on Instagram or something like that. Something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
again, I totally dig it. But this album is literally, and I'll say his music is literally, how do you deal with your problems? I think that's how much you appreciate it.
Okay.
You know?
I'm not mad at that at all.
All right. Banging on lunch tables.
You are damn right.
Final words before we get up out of here, Jones.
Hey man, 50 Cent, quit ducking, bro. Quit ducking. you. I see why you and Floyd Mayweather are friends. You know, just like, or frenemies or whatever you want to call it. Both super talented individuals, some of the best to ever do it in their respective areas. But you got to quit ducking, man. Y'all sharing a little similar vibes right now. You're ducking. You know, like T.I. Now, this is the crazy part to me. The 50 that I knew in 2003 wouldn't have ran from this. Wouldn't have ran from this at all.
Really?
This now seems like, nah, man. Look what you're talking about. Because on top of this, T.I. is vocal enough. He's prominent enough where you can't play him with the little nigga gone. I'm bigger than you status. He's a legend of equal value. Yeah, you might have sold more records than him, but at the same time, the culture overall, yeah, we know Get Rich or Die Trying is 10 million sold, but we don't see it the same. It's not. We don't see it like you're up here and T.I.'s like mid-level. Ah, man, quit reaching. Nah, that is a proper. That's a proper little battle right there. So 50, quit ducking. That's my final word, fam. You're looking. You're looking a little Scroogeous over there, like, you know, McDuckin over there. So chill out on all that, man. Come on. Like, if this would have been anybody else, I ain't gonna say anybody else. If it would have been like Jay-Z or like you said, yeah, Snoop, I'll take that. Or just 15 years ago, you would have been with all the smoke. But now you like, man, you know, what you talking about, man? You cracking jokes. Nah, fuck the jokes, man. Get in there with that versus battle. This is a proper opponent that ain't just gonna let you disrespect him. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna talk crazy to him, and he will fight you. Like, he crazy just like you are. So nah, man, get some of that smoke up. Let's do it for hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Jones, I mean, I can't front. I mean, what you're saying is correct in theory, right? But again, versus is supposed to be a celebration.
Yeah.
I don't think 50 Cent wants to celebrate with T.I. I really like, but what you call ducking, I think 50 calls definitively drawing my line in the sand. No, fam, I don't like you like that. Like you cool, like you cool. I won't fuck you up if I see you, but I don't like you. Like you're not my homie. Like we not. No, you know what I'm saying? Like I totally feel you because people obviously want to see it, and what 50 Cent does, people want to see him get involved in something and show that personality and play his music. But I'm totally in the mindset of 50 is like, no, I don't like you niggas.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that, but at the same time, you the bully. You're the guy everybody was afraid of 15 years ago. You the dude that still will throw hands. Like, he was just throwing chairs at somebody a couple days ago in Jersey.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, you get busy, right? All right, you got somebody calling you out. You can't run from the smoke now, fam.
Jones, you just said he running from music smoke when he threw a chair at a civilian the other day.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, yo, I don't know. I don't think you quite understand what I'm saying.
No, I get it.
50 Cent will fight somebody. Like, the songs won't play. Like, he's not gonna get to all 20 songs. He gonna be like,
before Swizz and then pull the plug.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna get disrespectful off the rip. I
Okay.
don't believe niggas think that, like, what the fuck are you talking about? The fact that you ain't never moved 10 million means you shouldn't even be fucking looking at my direction. Like, I think he, like, and I think he feels like that just because of what he's had to endure in general with
Right.
being
Yep.
in the music industry. I don't
Yeah.
think he fucks with anybody.
Anybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit, he's cut off Yayo and Banks at one point.
Yeah. That's true.
You did
That
what I'm
is true.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't like personally. Like 50 Cent, yeah, even if he's regarded as the bully, but I think he wants to get into the bully shit. Like, I think that's what he'd rather do.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to play music? I want to punch you in your face and slam you on your equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to burn
Yeah.
your fucking studio down. Like, I want to have niggas shoot this shit up because fuck all this music battle celebration shit. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
so so like that's where I feel he comes from. So I get it with the quit ducking, but then you gotta talk to Snoop specifically because that's who he said.
Ooh.
Like,
Okay.
like,
Fair enough.
you know what I'm
Fair
saying?
enough.
I think the only two people you can call for this, if you want a real celebration of the music and that kind of dynamic, you call Snoop or you call Eminem. That is it.
But okay. Now, even though I get it as far as the celebration of the music is concerned
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, but if we're keeping the competitive spirit of hip hop, and I know 50 is kind of operating outside of that because like y'all motherfuckers got me shot 9. I got shot 9 times and y'all dropped me from my label.
Yeah.
Type energy. He's been on for 20 years.
Yeah.
I get all that. But like he is a part of the culture and he does enjoy it. And the way he breaks that shit down like in his interviews, he know he can come out and play a little bit, man. It ain't got a result to like fisticuffs. And on top of that, he got a person that would be willing to fight him. Now, T.I is maybe like 2 inches taller than me, and 50 Cent might be like 5, and T.I would still fight that nigga. Like, you can't, that's not somebody he can push around. I know he would want to, but it ain't gonna be like he gonna talk all that crazy shit to T.I. and T.I. ain't gonna lip wrestle right back with him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you're right, Jones. You're right. But you know what's going to happen? The same thing that happened to Meek Mill. Right? and Meek Mill is bigger than both of them. And he went on the stage and was like, hey, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get to another person, he stepped to, like, he was willing to fight Meek to get to somebody else that we didn't even see in the frame.
Yeah.
And now they have an issue. And the thing is, you would expect him to have an issue with him signing the Ross anyway, but that wasn't even his issue at first.
Right, yeah.
Now he got an issue. Like, so I just say all that to say, I mean, sticking to the script of everything that you said, Jones, I think he's not up for play with just anybody or with everybody that we are looking at through the lens of having great hip hop catalogs. It's just like, no, because if there were no cameras or police around, I'd fuck a lot of these dudes up. I'm just unable to.
Right, yeah, true that. True that.
You know what I'm saying? Man, my final word, and I'm not even sure that I have one, so I just want to say again, happy birthday to Lil Kim. You know, cancer season is in full effect.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, she was my first nasty crush.
Right, yeah.
That was Lil Kim. Yeah, this is what my final word is all about Lil Kim and my experiences as a teen, as a youth. That's what we'll do today.
All right.
So Lil Kim was the first girl, because she was a girl at that time as well, that I knew I wanted to have sex with. Jones.
Okay.
And the way she rapped, I was like, oh wow, you do, like, I hadn't even, like, I'm not really into porno like that, so at this time, but listening to her, I'm like, yeah, licky licky, fuck my dicky, like, I'm here for it, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, I'm like 14 or 15, so I don't really know nothing about a fat cat or anything like that. I just know, like, yo, the way this girl is talking and the way she looks, I want to have sex with her. Like, I want to really, like, fuck this girl that's on this album cover. So And and that didn't and then Ray J made it worse when he started saying that Lil Kim got the best pussy on the planet, like it's the best shit he ever had in his fucking life. I'm like, oh my god, so the raps are real, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really need to fuck Lil Kim, like I need to get that pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she go on a date, Scott Storch, and I think even Mano. I don't know. I'm not trying to pin a bunch of bodies on her or them. I'm just saying she's
Right.
had other relationships, and Lil Kim was always a sex symbol to me, and
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her in the respects that she didn't have enough people like me around to let her know how sexy she was.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, I mean, hey, it's no secret that she's had, some cosmetic surgery, and I mean, she's even lightened herself. I mean, I do believe that's in some other deep rooted issues. I'm glad that she
Mm-hmm.
is like finally happy. I think she's well, she has a child. I don't know if she's married or not now. I really don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I know that she has family. She has family now, and hopefully that's bringing her a whole lot of love. But man,
Please.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But those '90s and early 2000s, man, there wasn't a guilty pleasure more for me than Lil Kim. Little did I know that she would start what would be my unexpectedly just like infatuations with July Cancer women. like
Oh.
like
Okay. Okay.
specifically, and like just as a matter of fact, I encourage all of y'all, like, pick a star that you like or that you really like were head over heels for at any point in
Mm-hmm.
your life. See when her birthday is, and then Google famous men or women of that same sign. And I'm almost guaranteeing you will find 10 more people that you felt the exact same way about that have that same range of
Okay.
birthdays. I'm almost 1 trillion% positive that will happen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
mad at that one.
So yeah, I just want to say salute to Lil Kim. Um, I still look at your pictures to this day and be like, oh man, well the old pictures to this day and be like, yeah, I really wanted a piece of that, and you will be one of my greatest regrets in life that
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to lay Lil Kim down. But hey, Kimberly Jones, I mean that with all due respect. I say
Mm-hmm.
that because I truly did believe that you possibly did have the best pussy on the planet, and I wanted a taste. And I would have been willing to skeet in you and love you and marry you. And we could have been together for like 25 years today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming from that perspective when I say those things to you. So, happy
Sound like
birthday.
you shoot your shot, man.
Listen, happy birthday, Lil Kim.
Right.
You are respected, you are loved, you are appreciated. Thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't have Jones snuffed because of his opinion on a naked truth. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And just love. You know what I'm saying? Love. Love, love, love. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, man, we thank y'all for checking out the show today. We enjoy doing it, and we hope you enjoy listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, man, we want to let you know that there is fans over critics.
Yes, sir.
And support what you love instead of bashing what you hate.
It is.
And we always want you to be safe, be humble, and live hip hop.
You damn right.
It's the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast with Camp from the Port.
Mike Jones.
And we are out.
Yeah.